Alright, let's talk about middlewares. First of all, I will explain you what middlewares are, then how we can use middlewares, and then how we can create our own middlewares. And then there is a lot of more things to talk about. First of all, let's see what middlewares are. Let's say for an example, you have a login page. In this case, we have this login page over. So first of all, let's spin up our application. PHP artisan serve, and this will run the application into the browser. Okay, so our application is loaded. Now let's say for an example, we have this login page where we are just displaying an HTML, nothing else. I want to make sure that if the user is logged in, only then the user can access the main page. For example, let's say this page. Otherwise, if the user is not logged in, I should first be redirected to the login page, and then once I log in, I then come back to this main page and I can access all other pages. And for those purposes, we can use middlewares. Now, there are certain middlewares which are defined for us by the Laravel out of the box. And what they do the exact same functionality. They check either the user is logged in or the user is guest. For an instance, for an example, if you want to apply a guest middleware. Now, what is guest middleware? A guest middleware is like, for example, you want the users to only access the login page if they are not already logged in. So there we can use the guest middleware. Let's see what middlewares Laravel offers us. So if we go to the Laravel and then go to the application, HTTP and kernel. Now here you can see a list of middlewares has been provided to us by the Laravel. Now you need to make sure that I have installed the Laravel 10 version. Obviously the Laravel 11 version has come out, and I will talk about Laravel 11 maybe at the end of this lecture, but for now we are sticking to the Laravel 10. So inside the Laravel 10 we have the middleware array. So you can see we have trust proxies, trim strings, and some other middlewares defined. So we have inside the web, we have encrypt cookies, we have start session, verify CSRF tokens. Then down here we have the middleware aliases. So what middleware aliases or aliases means is basically you can give a name to your middleware according to your need, so that you don't have to include this whole class to the route, except you can use this name so that the middleware will automatically be accessed. Now make sure that you do not overwrite the key. So if you have multiple or duplicate keys in an array, you might get an error, or you can get the last key value. Alright, so this is basically the middlewares are. Now how we can apply the middlewares to our routes. Alright, in normal PHP we check on every page, like if the session has started and the user is logged in, then the user can be able to access the dashboard pages. Here we have a different approach, where we have multiple ways of including a middleware and attaching it to our routes. The first method is I can point out to this route and I can apply the middleware on this. How can I do that? I can chain the method by using the middleware. Alright, I will give this a middleware and I will say it should be auth, just for an example, or for the better understanding, let's put this onto our main page here. So I am going to paste this here, middleware auth. Now this auth means authenticated. So this middleware is provided to us by default by the Laravel. There you can see. Then if this user is logged in, only then he can be able to access this page. Now if I go to the main page and I reload, now I am redirected to the login page. How is this possible? Okay, I assume like the Laravel knows like when the user is not logged in, it should be redirected towards the login page. Alright, but you can see what it says, it should redirect to the login page. Now this route has a name of login, and also we have a name of login as well. For an example, if I don't give my login page a name, I maybe change this to login 2 just for an instance. I come back to our main page. Now I will get an error. Laravel will throw me an error, route login not defined. Alright, and this will also point out to the authenticate middleware, and this will say like this login is not provided. So the better approach is use the login. And if I reload again, I am now back to the login page. Alright, so now if I want to apply this middleware or on more certain pages, for instance, let's say I want to apply this on about us and middleware, on contact us page, I can do as well. So if I go to about us, I am still redirected to login page. Similarly, for the contact, I am still redirected. And let's say I remove this contact and go to contact. Now I am able to access the contact page. Now that's really cool, an example. But what if I am already logged in and I want to access or restrict the user with the middleware? Like if the user is logged in, the user cannot access the login page, just for an instance. So how can I do that? I can apply the middleware on login page as well, and I will pass this as guest. And now if I go to the browser and reload the page, I should be able to see the login page. The reason is that because we have applied the guest, and which means we are not logged in to the system. So that's how the guest login works. Now you can apply the guest login work on sign up pages and on forgot password pages. The reason is that because if a user is logged in, he or she should not be able to access the sign up page or the password forgot page. And now there are furthermore things to talk about on middlewares. For example, how we can group the one middleware and list all the routes to that group. And I will talk about those important stuff in our upcoming videos. So that's about it, and I will see you in the next one.